All right, friends, so this is going to be your final discussion and discussion guide, and I want to go over it again just a little bit because it's a tiny bit different from ones that you've done before. Because with this one, you're actually going to be looking at art, and we're going to kind of look at why art can be really important for looking at history and understanding history. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to watch this quick video here, and it actually tells the story about this painting. Okay, this painting of George Washington crossing the river. And it's kind of this big moment in American Revolutionary history about how Washington crossed the Delaware and won. So it's kind of one of those big founding stories essentially. And this painting here, which you can also see down here, is supposed to depict that specific event, right? But through the course of this video, you'll kind of see how this particular painting doesn't necessarily show exactly what actually happened, right? Things looked a little bit different than as is depicted in this particular painting. And so you'll learn about why that is, you'll learn about how things are depicted, and then your actual questions might seem a little bit weird because it's two questions. It's how is patriotism shown in the painting, and how is propaganda shown in this painting? So, patriotism being this idea of feeling um, uh, patriotic, feeling happy with your country, feeling like you are loyal to your country, feeling like you want to kind of talk about how good your country is kind of this feeling of patriotism, right? This love for your country. Propaganda is the idea that you can use pictures or words or videos or anything like that to kind of get a message across to people, to get an idea or um, or a lesson almost across to people. Okay. Now, there's one thing that's really, really important that I want to point out here, and that's the fact that propaganda is not always a bad thing. People often hear the word propaganda and they immediately think of it as something that is bad, right? Propaganda is things like Nazi propaganda that convinced, the German people that Hitler was right, or propaganda about communism, or propaganda, about, the bad guys trying to convince people that they're in the right. And that is not necessarily always true. Yes, propaganda absolutely can be used in that way. But propaganda is also things like showing an event in a better light than it was actually happened, right? Propaganda is things basically just trying to convince people kind of your side of the argument or your side of the story. And again, that's not necessarily always a bad thing. You can think of like the whole um, the "we want you," right? Uncle Sam pointing his finger at you in the poster, and it's "we want you," or the "keep calm and carry on." That has become a meme that is everywhere. Keep calm and whatever is everywhere. And that was actually propaganda during World War II in Britain. So propaganda is not necessarily a bad thing. So when you're looking at this painting, I want you to tell me those two things. How is this idea of patriotism and love for your country shown? And how is this idea of propaganda and basically convincing people of your side of the story shown in this painting? Okay? I hope that makes sense. Of course, if you have any questions, please reach out to me. But otherwise, have fun. Thanks, friends.